Yeah.
Thank you for calling Berated B-rated movies. I'm Anthony. Where B-rated isn't a bad word. I'm Anthony. How can I help you?
Yeah, I was just totally curious. What are we watching tonight?
Well, tonight we are watching a 2023 horror film. That's a Wrap, directed by Marcel Walz, and uh, and it stars Sarah French and Cerina Vincent.
All right,
It's about
sick.
a bondage wearing serial killer going around killing the actors and actresses of a movie.
Sounds pretty cool. I could dig it.
Well, awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Berated B rated movies.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm Anthony. How can I and with me tonight, sorry, I'm still doing the phone call. And with me tonight is guest berater. You've heard him at least a couple times.
Yeah.
At least five. Is Garrett.
Definitely not the guy on the other end of the phone just a second ago. I could never pull that off. I could never sound like,
Like Cartman Bra
Michelangelo from the TMNT back in our childhood days.
when it was people in turtle suits.
Yeah.
I miss those days. Um, but how have you been doing?
I've been doing pretty good. Just living the I was gonna say good life, but then I'm like, that sounds so cheesy and campy. But living in San Diego, everyone's just loves to say the good life down here. But it's a city like any other, and comes with some pretty big things to not overlook. And so just learning to adjust mostly to the cost of living, and just trying to enjoy the weather when we do have the sun. It's been quite cloudy the last 8 months.
Really? All we get is sun. Like we're in the oven weeks. It's like at least 100.
Yeah, we had an extended, as you know, it was pretty wet last winter, and then our spring and not so much early summer, but yeah, late spring. We'll get a lot of that May gray, the June gloom. So San Diegans are craving that vitamin D right now. They want to get outside, and
Go
I'm
to the
one of them.
beach.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I was gonna ask, like, I know everybody's like, "Oh, you live in Vegas, you must go down to the strip a lot." It's like, fuck no. You mean I want to be near like cigarette smoke and vape and people handing me porno cards and like that that's the part of the strip I remember. It's just gross. Um, but like I imagine the beach probably has more of an allure uh than uh than the strip does if you're not a tourist.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up going to San Diego for vacation. We used to come down here and camp in Mission Bay all the time in the summer, and some very fond memories of you know growing up as a kid and just coming down here and really experiencing it from that perspective. And now, having lived here for 8 years, and have had various jobs here, living in San Diego full time when I used to live actually downtown was an experience all on its own that I was not prepared for. Like vacationing there never prepares you for, like you and I grew up in the suburbs.
Oh yeah.
So living in a city was a huge shock for me. But I just think like I've done all the touristy things that there are to do in San Diego numerous times. And so my life kind of centers around my hobbies and the things that make me happy that they're not necessarily unique to San Diego. I don't need San Diego to do those things. So I'm starting to get to a point where kind of honestly, dude, I'm like craving the desert life. Like every time I go out to the desert, usually it's Joshua Tree, Palm Springs. I just love that dry heat. I love being in places that aren't surrounded by buildings everywhere and just huge masses of people. I like small communities. And so, yeah, I'm just starting to kind of form my own, maybe, I don't know, 5-year plan of trying to save up enough money to, um, buy a small piece of land and put a house down on it in the desert somewhere. I don't know what desert.
That's not a bad
It won't be
idea.
Vegas Strip. It won't be the Vegas Strip. I can tell you that.
Oh, everything out here is getting expensive. Like when we got in, like they were like, it's a good thing you got in now because housing prices are going to skyrocket.
Hmm.
And sure enough, they did. Because like our house is worth way more than it was worth when we bought it.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It's like right now, if you look at Redfin and you just kind of move around San Diego County, if you zoom in at just the right level, like not too granular so that you get, things that are within like just like a couple blocks of each other, but you kind of zoom out and it's just giant capital M's next to every listing.
Wow.
And most homes in San Diego, like small family homes, 1.2 to 1.6.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna. There's no way I'm gonna fucking afford that. Not ever. So it's
Yeah.
so just yeah, I'm just starting to have different values the older I get, and I don't really value being surrounded by a tourist trap all the time, which is San Diego is just we get so many tourists here,
Yeah, man, I
and
feel you.
I don't really have like a super great memory of the strip either. Honestly, like the one clear memory I have is crossing the bridge between TI and is it the Venetian on the other side? I think.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
There's that pedestrian bridge. I was going over that pedestrian bridge one night for dinner. I was there for a conference, and this group of people were just like running from the other direction, and one of them just like spray vomited all over the side.
yeah.
And I just remember like almost sympathetically vomiting because it was just like it was like watching The Exorcist, and he just all over the place, just like moved his head like a spray. Just, "Blah." And then he was done, and his friends just like ran by with him, and I was just like, "Oh my God, I've had enough already,"
That is so
And
gross. Yeah.
um, so yeah,
Yeah. The thing is, it's like I used to like when I was doing marathons, like they would do the Rock and Roll Vegas, and you'd have to
Mhm.
get down to the strip like 3 hours early
Yeah,
to just be in the area. So they
hmm
when they call up your line, you can get in line for the run. And it's like it's a cool thing, and I do it once or twice. But if you ask me if I'm gonna do that like every 6 months, because they do it every 6 months now, like you mean I gotta like take 8 hours out of my day to do a 4 hour run? Like this sounds like a chore at a certain point.
yeah, right, yeah,
Yeah, because they shut down the whole strip, so you have to like like it's not even worth driving down and finding a place to park. You literally just like get an Uber and
uh-huh.
and uh and have them Uber you to the closest spot where you do the least amount of walking to your starting point. But yeah, like damn, dude.
Yeah, I remember when you were running just on the books, insane numbers to me. Like I didn't even know, I had no concept of how hard that actually was physically. I just remember seeing the numbers you were running, or you would tell me, and I'm just like, wow, how is that even like humanly possible? I remember thinking that at the time as we were, I think maybe early 20s. Is that
Yeah, like
uh,
early 20s, 30s. Um, yeah, that I was doing a lot more. Now it's like I could do Spartan because like you get to do more muscle stuff and it's okay to walk and like and it's like 13 miles at the most. Like I could do that. That would be okay. Like
yeah,
like that sounds good to me.
yeah, I'm just blown away by what you were doing at that time, and Sarah races triathlon, and I am just starting to get my running legs back. Like I used to really enjoy running as a kid, and I did pretty well in like any kind of track and field that I did. In I think it was in my freshman year. I enjoyed it a lot, and I was pretty fast. Um, but like I tried running. What was it? I think it was like 9 miles recently, and I finished it, but by the time I got done, I thought to myself, how there are athletes out there that jump into the water and swim more than a mile and then hop out, change into their
Mm-hmm.
cycling gear,
Like on the
and then they
fly.
ride, yeah, 50 miles or whatever it is, and then they run after. And I was thinking, like, I was telling Sarah how funny, because I almost thought I was going to vomit just thinking about what that would do to me if I tried it.
That's gotta mess with your equilibrium so bad because you're trying to like not fall on your face as you're putting shoes on and stuff. And it's like I have to sit down to put my shoes on. So like even if even when I ran, like I gotta sit down to put my shoes on. I gotta like bend like get on one knee to tie my shoes.
Yeah, and I'd like to come out and visit you guys soon. And I'd love to go. I don't know if you still run, but I'd love to run out there with you, because I've really come to enjoy desert running, just dry heat. And
I'm starting to get back into it now that everything's
okay,
finally slowing down.
yeah. Do you do much trail running when you do run, or do you prefer road?
Um, I did do trail for a little bit and I did a trail half and that was really fun.
Hmm.
Like when it's not so much dedicated path and it's uh like you're just out in the middle of nowhere, it was different. I liked it.
Hmm.
And the whole environment is different. The metals were different. Like it's chill
Hmm.
as
Yeah.
opposed to like you get to the end of a marathon and it's like protein bars and bananas and this and that and like every single sponsor you can think of. You get to the end of a trail run, it's like we have beer in a cooler and
Yeah.
Gatorade
Tacos, beer.
and like every unhealthy thing you can think of at the end of this because that's probably all you wanted anyways. Like I'm like, you have read my mind, sir.
Yeah.
Like I could do this forever.
You know, I I can tell you, like, out of all the rides that I've ever mountain bike rides that I've ever had with people that like to go out for food or whatever after, by far, like 90% of what I've eaten after a huge mountain bike ride consists of either seafood, like a lot of sushi. Sushi after ride is amazing. Um, Definitely beer and coffee.
Yeah.
Those are like, and we love to sit around and talk about the coffee that we're drinking too while we're,
Well, you're
enjoying it.
drinking the coffee you're drinking.
You-
Yeah.
yeah, it's so meta.
You know this experience I'm having right now? I'm having this experience right now.
Yeah, there's a version of me in the mug floating in this coffee doing the same thing right now. It's infinite.
Yeah. Oh, before we continue, I need to do our all of our basic stuff that we normally do in the intro. Um, if you're listening to this wonderful free podcast episode, we have our website, beratedmovies.com, where you can check out the merch, the merchandise tag, where we have t-shirts, tanks, hoodies, stickers. Um, and many more accessories that you can get with our berated B-rated movies and berated B-rated conversations logos. Um, and if you love these episodes, we also have, and you just love to throw us some support, we have our Apple subscriber podcast, Everything Gets Berated, where this month, we're doing our episode with Brian on Muscles and Mayhem, the unauthorized story of the American gladiators on Netflix. We're going to talk about that. And also the episode that I'm going to be doing with Garrett on the story of Chuck Smith and Greg Laurie and the
Oof,
creation of Calvary Chapel, Costa Mesa, the Jesus Revolution.
I'm looking forward to that one. How
I
many times have you watched it? Be honest.
twice, and the first time I watched it, I was like, it was like cynical old man, and I was just like, this is bullshit. And I'm like sitting there just like I can't believe they did this. And the second time I'm like, that's Goldberg. I was like, and
Yeah.
just finding all the stuff, and I'm just like, which we'll get deeper into that when you listen to the Apple subscriber episode. on the Jesus Revolution. But yeah, like I found it to be very entertaining, and probably not in the way that, you know, the Lionsgate distributors wanted it to be.
Yeah, I talked to you before I watched it, and I think you kind of inspired me to really just try as hard as I could to keep an open mind. It wasn't like I wasn't worried about some heartstring getting tugged on, and then I would be like, "Oh my God, Jesus, where are you? Where have you been?" You know. But uh, it honestly did tug at a different heartstring. It got me remembering all the great years,
Yes.
that you and I, well, not so much specifically Calvary Chapel Redlands, but just somehow knowing, being closer to the story of the beginning of that movement was kind of a way for me to be like, whether for good or bad, and I say that full like openness, I probably did a lot of bad by leading people to Jesus. I'm sorry, everybody out there. Sorry, but I played a role in a lot of people's, transformations,
Yeah.
and it happened by and large through the Calvary Chapel movement. And some of those people today are now Christian and are like, Garrett, man, what happened? And I'm just like, nah, you shouldn't have listened to anything I was saying back then.
I was mistaken. Yeah. Let's see. Tonight we are watching That's a Wrap. This which okay, so this one like kind of like jumped on my radar um because we had talked to Dave Sheridan, who was in Pretty Boy, which is not out yet. I don't think you can find it anywhere. Um but it's the same director, and like I'd been following this guy, and this one came up, and it's uh like I don't know, it has kind of like just watching the trailer, it's very haven't seen the movie yet, but um very like John Wickish sort of lighting to
Hmm.
it, and it almost feels like action horror where there's a lot of like scene setups and things like that. Like this feels like it's going to be more of an experience than anything else, which I we don't get a lot of this, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I watched the trailer, so that's all I have to go off of. And I hadn't thought of the John Wick comparison, but now after hearing you say that, I was kind of thinking back to the trailer, and I can see what you mean.
It's very
Um,
like intentional in the setups, and the lighting is like it's like the most neon light you've ever seen in a room, but yet nothing overpowers anything, which has got
mhm.
to be a special skill.
Yeah, and sorry, I don't mean to derail the conversation, but in case it's something you want to edit in, I just recently rented Late Night with the Devil. I don't know if you have had a chance to see that one.
No, we've talked about it, but I do want to watch it. Like I know I I it showed up for me because I noticed that the guy that's plays the talk show host, David Dasmalchian,
Hmm.
he's in a bunch of the higher budget independent stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was also he was one of the like villains that was part of the Heath Ledger's Joker
Oh, that's
gang.
right.
He played kind of the guy that was kind of insane in the back of the ambulance
That's
when
right.
Harvey Dent wanted to, tell him. I think they were trying to get him to spew the beans on Rachel's whereabouts or something. I don't remember exactly.
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right. Well, you want to take a break here and we'll come back with the beginning?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna switch over off my earbuds to the speakers on this thing.
All right. Well, we'll be back with the beginning of That's a Wrap. Quiver distribution.
They wanted Quicksilver, but that was already taken.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. We're back with the beginning of That's a Wrap. I forgot that last week too. What the heck? I'm slipping.
Now we can see all the elite groups that contributed to this film.
Elite Film Group.
Oh, Elite's elite. And just in case you didn't know, now they're also presenting it.
It's a rap movie LLC production. Okay, so yeah, directed by Marcel Walz. So we're gonna get the black credits here. Oh, okay. So we see a an actress uh doing her makeup in the like the stage mirror, I guess you'd call it. I don't know the right name for that.
A vanity?
A
I don't
vanity.
know if
There
that's
you
what you were
go.
looking for.
There you go, Garrett. Good job. So this is Cerina Vincent. Um, Before I say what she's from, I just want to make sure I get this right. She was in Cabin Fever. She was also in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy as one of the Rangers.
What's that movie poster in the background? I'm trying to make that out. Oh, that's the rap. Okay.
That's the movie. So basically, they made a movie about a killer, and this guy dresses up as a killer from the movie to murder the people in the movie.
Okay.
This is very meta. Oh, that's right. Dave Sheridan's in this. Okay. Oh, Joe Castro. Okay. I've seen some of these names in other stuff.
It's a very random assortment of people and things in this hallway.
So that's the I believe from the trailer, that's the killer kind of a wardrobe. Okay, so now she's walking out of the back lot to her car.
She clearly doesn't know how Bruce Wayne was taken out of this world. Or not Bruce, but
His
his
parents.
dad.
Daddy. Yeah.
She's getting into a classy. Come on, what is it?
I didn't see the name. I was
That's
even
an.
like turning my head towards the screen so like I could see it better.
It looked like an Audi steering wheel, but it looked like a Chevy
It
uh,
looked like Chevy writing.
badge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now oh wow. So she's got like the nice
Whoa.
car and she still puts her phone up. You don't have like the heads up display. So okay, so this is uh which I believe that's Tom Savini. He's like a major horror legend.
Mm-hmm.
So she's talking to her agent. This is her manager, talking about like what she's gonna get from this movie as far monetarily. So she's supposed to be like the main or like the draw actress for this movie because they said that she's gonna get 10% of the profits.
Would it be off color for me, Anthony, to ask you for every character that I see? Weren't they in Home Alone?
You could do that.
Okay.
And now the movie lot security guy comes up, which
Yeah,
oh
yeah, yeah.
that's Dave Sheridan.
That's Daniel Stern. He was definitely in Home Alone.
No, that is Dave Sheridan. That is the ghost face from Scary Movie. That's who that is right there. We've seen him play at least three different types of cops. So now he's like sweet talking her kind of a little bit. That's what it feels like. He's like just trying to like see if he can like get more than a conversation, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Wants to get that beeper number.
Yeah. Let me get them digits, girl. So she heads back in to the movie set, which apparently they keep it backlit all the time because it's got that like we were talking about kind of earlier, the blue light kind of like John Wick lighting,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some music playing in the background.
I would, for no reason ever, for any amount of money, walk down a hallway that was lit like this ever in the universe.
Yeah.
But they
So
do it so willingly in these movies.
I know, like everybody's just like, oh, this looks totally normal. I'm just gonna walk right in. So she sees the wig from the killer, and I'm assuming it's like full killer getup from behind this tiny door. Oh wow, we're getting like Like even like the that kind of like that scream kind of like meta dialogue where it's like very funny, like everybody thinks they're ahead of the joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what this dialogue kind of feels like. So then the actual like
Mannequin.
costume mannequin, it looked like a mannequin there for a second, I swear, yeah. Moved. Okay, I'd have to change my pants and my underwear.
Oh yeah.
Like that's scary enough as it is.
Yeah, this was like that. I am looking for Ray Finkel
Finkel is Einhorn.
and a new pair of shorts.
So she's
Yeah.
hiding from whoever is behind this like mask with the eyes cut out. Which, if anything, that's a really good mask because it's really hard to tell who would be behind that. So now she's looking around in the dark, and the killer pops up right on her. And now she's trying to get back out. I feel like maybe she should have never come in. That's probably the best thing
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Just don't do that. So
I've been watching
now,
Walter Mitty too much. I keep expecting her to just like wake up from a daydream and she's about to like go in for a job interview.
yeah, this would be this would be a very disturbing nightmare. Like I don't like I think you wake up in a pool of sweat from this one.
Mm-hmm.
So now she walks into a whole other room. So she's going all over this set. And now we get like elaborate piano music. So whoever this killer is, he was like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scare the shit out of her over here. I'm gonna have her think I'm a mannequin. And then I'm gonna run or have her run into these different elaborate sets that I have set up for this one kill. Like this feels like he put so much time and effort into this kill.
I mean, no doubt. I don't know if you remember, Anthony, but I believe we volunteer for a haunted house in Redlands all
Yeah,
those
we
years
did.
ago.
Hmm.
The amount of effort that went into like practicing your scares was monumental.
Yes, it was.
And
And
it
then
sucked when people came by and you could tell they weren't into it. And you're like, oh, all that work.
yeah, you're like, that didn't feel good. And it kind of sours you for a second, but at least you have
Yeah.
like a little bit of time and and now the killer's right behind her. And they have that overhead like rain machine
Hmm.
and she gets stabbed in the stomach, I'm assuming, because blood is coming out of her mouth. And again and again. Wow, this is turning into like either like a John Wick fight scene or like an 80s music video. Oh geez, ooh. She got stabbed in the hand.
There's times in these movies where I'd rather watch someone get brutally stabbed to death in the torso than watch someone like self-inflict themselves with a paper cut between their fingers.
Yeah, because it's
You know?
like a psychological thing. You're not ready for it.
Yeah.
Like
And
you know they're probably gonna get stabbed in the stomach.
yeah, and then they pull that hand thing, and I've been seeing that more and more where that use of the knife through that, like the hand goes up and then it just goes straight through the hand, and it's every time.
It's like a defensive wound.
Yeah, it gives me the chills just seeing it. Like, ugh, good luck fighting with that hand.
Oh yeah. And we get our title card, and then it's the next day. And now we're watching almost literally what we just saw, but like the movie
Mhm.
version.
Oh, that's some cool effect there. It made it look
So
super retro.
yeah, it looks super 80s. Yeah. Like, and so there's a lady in like a tight tank top and jeans with an axe being stalked by the mistress. That's what they're calling this killer. And that is the trailer, I'm assuming. And his wife walks in, the director's wife walks in and sees it and likes it.
That's scary.
And oh wow. Ooh. Okay, so let me ask you. Um like if your girlfriend came up to you and she's wearing something really nice that shows off all of her best parts, like,
Uh-huh.
and she's like, "How do I look?" And you go like, "Oh, you look nice," and you don't even like make eye contact or attempt to like make a sweet gesture out of it. You're just like saying it. Like, doesn't that feel kind of
Are you asking me from my vantage point is the giver of this compliment,
as
this
the
very ambivalent compliment?
yeah, the just this sort of ambivalent compliment.
Um, yeah, it does. Because I do like to be I like to take notice of what my partner wears and how it makes her look and what it complements. So yeah, if I didn't do that and I just say something real generic, yeah, that would bother me.
Yeah. Now we're getting the like character name reveal, like in like a like a title card way, kind of. Everybody's doing their Vogue poses. I
I
don't know
like
if everybody.
the little name special effect there. It's got like like laser fog lamp, but
Oh yeah,
neon light thing going on too. It's cool.
yeah. Like this movie really does pay attention to the visuals. I enjoy this. And we have the guy who he's being paid to be there, Richter.
Like this is how I want to enter work every day.
Like,
If I got if ever actually if we all got this every time we came into the building,
oh hell yeah.
even in the same workday, that would be fine.
So the director's name is Mason Maestro. Um, oh yeah, okay. So the photographer, he looks really familiar. He is Pretty Boy from Blind and Pretty Boy. The like those movies, the previous Marcel Walz movies.
Hmm.
He's the killer Ken doll guy.
Definitely not a wig.
Yeah, totally a wig. He looks like a Meatloaf impersonator right now. I would do anything for catering.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's she pays him and he's trying to like schmooze his way into the to the rap party and be like, "Can I
Hmm.
get some stuff? Like, some drinks and some hors d'oeuvres?" And it
He's
sounds like a big firm no, like a polite no.
he's got a rogue curl that keeps getting in his left eye. It's hilarious. He keeps shaking his head to try to get it away, but it's not having it. It's like, I know I'm here to stay.
I'm pretty sure that just makes the scene better. It's like that's the stuff like for
Yeah.
me. And I love wigs in movies. That's one of my favorite things. Like a So now Mason Maestro, the director, who refers to himself as me, the writer and director, is giving his speech about the rap party for the movie. And he's like, this just seems like every like thank you speech for a movie that I would imagine anybody ever gave, really. Like it's just platitudes.
Is this guy like totally influenced by Bryan Cranston, or is it just me?
He feels very Bryan Cranston-ish, especially that
Like
cookie
he's
duster mustache.
yeah, channeling his inner Walter White.
It's like, I made meth before, but now I make movies. So he's acting like this is like his kind of like his big movie. Like this was the movie he's
Hmm.
been wanting to make for a while, kind of thing. That's what I'm getting at least. Oh, and okay, that's who it was. That's who was murdered last night is Alexis. Was the she's yeah, she's supposed to be the big actress. She's like a Janet Leigh or a Drew Barrymore. And now we get the teaser trailer for That's a Wrap as we're watching That's a Wrap. This feels very very meta. All right, we're watching uh the trail or the teaser trailer for That's a Wrap.
I feel
Oh,
like
and
this would be a wonderful movie, like not the movie we're watching, but the movie they're watching if that was critiqued by the Mystery Science Theater crew.
Yeah.
That would
Like,
be hilarious.
oh, like this is totally Mystery Science Theater material right here.
But wouldn't that
Like
be wild? Like they're watching Mystery Science Theater critique their movie while they're critiquing
it would
that.
it would certainly add to the layers of meta since we seem to
Yeah.
be very over layered on meta here. And I'm just wondering, like, my big question right now is how does that pay off? Like all of this meta, because if you use it right, this can really work.
Maybe in the end, the whole thing is it just zooms out and you realize it was you were what they were someone else was watching a movie this whole time.
So the trailer stops and the killer pops up behind Mason Maestro and fake stabs him. So we get our first fake kill, which like yeah, I guess you made a horror movie, that's in good taste. So now everybody's clinking their glasses and drinking, and the wife of the director and one of the blonde actresses are talking. This just feels like that weird like schmoozy like everybody's telling everybody how amazing they are kind of talk.
Yeah.
Like
The dance of the sycophant.
so so his wife is gonna go congratulate him about his movie that she just congratulated him about back there. It's like uh I appreciate it, but we just had this conversation. Like everything feels so formal. So now the director is getting into an argument with a producer um about how this movie is not art. This is a horror bullshit horror, which I think that's supposed to be like kind of like a shot at these kind of like what we consider elevated horror is like the A24s and the Blumhouses, where you lift it away from the gore and try to like add art to it, and it gives it like an air of pretense. So now we have two other actresses that are uh talking about doing nudity. Okay, I don't know if you noticed this, but like when you watch like horror movies in the early 2000s, like this feels a lot like that with like how a lot of the women are dressed. Like it's like really um like shiny and glossy, and like
Mm-hmm.
everybody's pretty, and like it's like those early 2000s horror films where it was like every beautiful person, young beautiful person you knew was in those movies.
Yeah, this has elements of Scream in it, kind of coming back.
Little Scream, a little early 2000s, but like the way the movie's shot in the movie is kind of 80s.
Hmm.
It's hitting a little bit of everything.
Ben
Now,
Stiller when he was just a 20 something.
yeah. Like he's dressed like he's got on like what is it? Like a cut off leather, or like a cut off denim. Sorry, leather. Wow. What am I saying? Um and like he looks very like it looks 80s, but I guess 80s is making a comeback. So now everybody's just like sitting around chitting, chatting, drinking, and we get the two other guys in the background like this is fucking lame.
Is
Like,
that? I'm just trying to figure out if that guy has a prosthetic nose with the martini.
oh yeah, like he's got like the Squidward nose.
Yeah, like he's got to get that whole thing in that glass. He's not finishing that drink unless it's through his nose.
But how are you going to smell your drink if you don't have a Squidward nose?
That's definitely a prosthetic. I don't know.
It maybe. If it is, it's a very convincing prosthetic.
From the front, it looks awful. Like from the front, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna pull that right off. But then he turns, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't see any lines.
Yeah. Hey, Squidward. Hey, Squidward.
Like just notice from the front, it just looks just put right on there with a little bit of scotch tape.
So now the guy that was being accused of being gay because he hasn't talked to any girls, goes up and talks to the blonde actress who was talking to the wife of the director earlier. So, okay, do you feel like it's like he's gay, or is it like, like I don't know,
This
like
this this character here.
yeah.
Oh, it's hard for me to say anything because I think Zoom is like dropping the volume of the. I've been going off of subtitles more than the audio.
That's what I'm going off of too.
Yeah.
So, and then we have the other guy, the guy wearing the what is that, like a Miami Vice Tommy Bahama shirt.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to another, this is his first acting job, and the first thing he says to her is, "I'm an actor," like with such seriousness. And then the blonde actress comes up to him and confronts him about being so pretentious. Oh, okay. So we get like he basically accuses them of sleeping with the people making the movie to get in the movie. So it's a little Harvey Weinstein-ish. And so she's playing the moral side and saying, "I don't do that because the people that do that are just as bad as the people that allow it to happen, or the ones that take the sex." And now all the women are gathering to get the tea on the argument. Like this feels like just like I don't know, like I don't know a great way to put it, but it feels like kind of like social masturbation. Like everybody's just like getting in on everybody else's thing to try to like find something interesting.
Jeez, bro, finish your first drink before before you go for the whole goblet.
No, he said like he picked it up and he was like, a lot of these women could take this whole thing. And I don't know if he's like meaning like they could drink the whole thing, or if he's like they could take the whole top of the bottle in their mouth because it looks phallic. So now he walks down a hallway, the douchey guy in the Tommy Bahama shirt, and runs
Prosthetic nose.
with the prosthetic nose. And he runs into the killer.
Not literally.
Well, I mean, yeah, figuratively. He's all right. So now one of the girls with the glasses uh is in the bathroom wiping something off her boob, taking her earrings out, and taking her necklace off. Oh, and taking her dress. Wow. Okay, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
everything.
And everything off. She is naked to the world. And she's staring at herself in the mirror. So this is like a full bath. It's got like, oh, okay. What? So I thought she was gonna go take a shower. Like, I'm really thrown off right now.
I was lost. I thought, are we in an Airbnb or is this a porta potty?
But yeah, because it looked like a bathroom in a studio, right?
Yeah.
But it's got a full walk-in shower.
What were we just looking at? What was that?
I
Oh,
have,
that was the jacket.
oh yeah. So now here's the killer, outside the door.
Just finished doing the dishes, apparently.
Yeah, he's wearing. They look like big black dish gloves. Well, it's oh, so now she's washing her clothes. Okay,
She's using iodine to wash her clothes
I guess, and then she walks out into the hallway naked.
with a landing strip that looks like it might have been glued on.
I mean,
A lot of prosthetics.
there's a good amount. We're looking at 3 of them right now.
Is that a Stussy S on the side of her ribs?
So then I did not see that. She opens this curtain and the fake skeleton cops a feel.
She walked away with some attitude there.
And the director was behind there, like smiling.
Ew, that's creepy.
That's fucking gross. So now she's gonna take a shower. So if she, okay, here's my question. If she wet her clothes in like a nice, that's got to be like a nice silk dress or something, right? Which I'm not a expert on materials, but like you wet it in the sink and wash it, it's not going to be dry by the time you get out of the shower.
Especially if you didn't hang it over something. You just
And
left
she
it in a big
didn't.
wet clump.
It's just a wet clump in the sink. Yeah, like she's gonna get out of the shower and put on a uh like a wet dress. Oh wow. And now she's trying to
See?
uh
Shower
do a little
shower is a totally a gateway drug.
doing a little self-love. I mean, this is a really a good moment to talk about, therapy and just thinking about yourself and giving some time to yourself every day.
Look, listen here, people. Two things that never lead to sex. Never. Showering together and giving another person a massage. Never lead to sex.
They never do.
Never.
Well, I'm assuming like massages lead to snoring. Like you're going to relax somebody so much to the point that they're going to fall asleep. I mean, like that's what it sounds like to me. So now she's like laughing in the shower to herself, and we are getting like a lot of shower scene here. This is like,
Yeah, this seems gratuitous at this point.
yeah, and so apparently the killer is staring at her and stabs her in the shower. Oh, it's like Psycho because they made a Janet Leigh reference earlier. It's that thing
He's
like, sorry, go ahead.
the killer stabs at like a much slower frame rate than what the film is being shot at from the person he's killing's perspective. Do you notice that?
Yeah, I feel like that's intentional. Like it's like if you watch the original Psycho, there was
Mhm.
something Janet Leigh said about Psycho where she said people always said it's like when you're in the shower and and the killer just keeps stabbing you and he saw you get stabbed and it's like, but if you rewatch that, you never see a stab. You see the knife go up and come down and you see her scream. And in that, like you see a lot of the same stuff. So I think it was supposed to feel like the Psycho shower scene.
Oh, okay. Got to come
No.
try this new blue stuff.
It's got to be so disorienting to sit under this like these different light sources like of different colors and you're like I feel like I'm in a strip club right now. This is really weird. But we're at a movie party.
When in reality, you're in Sunday school.
It's the club. But so the director was talking with some of the actresses, and now here's the other blonde girl with the gold chain dress. She was the one who had those glasses on, looked like she was from Len, which I don't remember if you remember that group, the Steal My Sunshine.
Oh yeah.
So now the wife is gonna go look for her husband, the director. I have a sneaking suspicion like he is um having relationships with his actresses, and so she feels the need to police his behavior. That's the feeling I'm getting here. And now the killer uh is staring at the other blonde girl, and we're getting more of that like one-sided dialogue from the person to the killer, which seems to be like every time there's a kill, this is what happens kind of thing.
He's like, entertain me.
It's like, continue talking. I love conversation. And so she gives him the double fingers.
Damn.
Wow.
The
Like
double bird.
from her boobies.
That was Big Bird.
So I guess the killer went away. Like, did the killer get offended? He's like, how dare you flip me off? I'm mad now.
He was like, yeah, basic.
Oh, that's so creative. You use two fingers. I've never seen that before. So she's watching. Oh, this is a video from a guy that likes her. He sent
Kind
her
of
a
looks like
red. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just thinking he kind of reminds me of Jack Black.
A little bit, yeah. Like he sent her a red panda and flowers.
He's
Uh,
like, I'm the one you should be creeped out by.
what? Yeah, like what? A red panda? I don't know what that means.
I want to love bomb you on the first date.
That okay, so that's a thing. Is kind of like all the stuff people at our age do for romance and relationships and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think if you did that at like the way you act now, if you were 20 today and did that, it would seem psycho, right?
Oh, it's never not been psycho, but it lands but it lands on the right person eventually, and they're like, oh, I love this.
I
I
love
want more of it. I want more psycho.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really true. It's like it's one of those things. It's like it's only psycho if you don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah, because most people who I reminisce over previous dates with, they're like, dude, that's like psycho. Why would you do that? And I'm like, because I'm a romantic person and I don't care if I don't know you. Like I'm gonna be romantic. And Sarah loved it though.
Yeah.
Our first date together, she loved it. And there's been other women who I've gone out with that, seem to appreciate it. But yeah, most women, at least that I've dated, found that kind of energy on date one to just be like, all right, peace,
Yeah.
bye.
Bye. So now the director's wife is talking to the other blonde girl. Um like basically like okay, that felt like a stay away from my husband, like or watch how you behave around him. Kind
What was
of
that?
speech. That was like a
It
riot
looks like
stick
some kind of like
or is that like
that
a
or some kind of
wand?
sex toy.
Is that a sex toy?
So
I
many
mean,
things at this
maybe.
table could be a sex toy as well.
So now we have all of the remaining people left at the party just sitting there drinking. We have the Sarah French, the blonde actress, the other blonde actress. We have 80s guy. Um we have we have our one black guy. Like this party has one black guy. Um and there's two people in the back too.
How much LA Looks hair gel was used in this film, do you think, so far?
Like 6 gallons. Jeez, like
Dude, did you ever use LA Looks?
yes. Like, but I always felt like LA Looks was like I mean I don't want to speak badly about my parents because I know it's one of those things. It's like everybody has like low months and high months where you have, more money to spend on things and less money to spend on things. But LA Looks was kind of like like I might not have that much money this month, so we'll just get you the big jug of LA Looks.
See, before I had a concept of, money, my mom would buy me things like LA Looks. And I used to think, wow, my mom, she's really getting me like the salon quality, you know, hair gel. But look, I mean, it's colored, it works. And with a name like LA Looks,
Oh yeah.
wow, to my surprise, when I went to Stater Brothers once and saw LA Looks in the same aisle with a toilet plunger, I was like, "Ugh, what is okay?" So we're definitely want to pass up an opportunity to say how he's killing this person.
Oh yeah. So the blonde girl that just talked to the director gets that was her hair dryer or her hair curler. By the way, I just
Okay,
realized it. Like because that's what he shoves in her mouth is the hair curler. Well it's heated and it's burning her throat.
so
Oh
now she
geez.
has um some frothy cream
Oh yeah.
on her lips
So now 80s guy is like in another part of the studio where there's a couch.
with a dog that looks like one of the demon dogs from Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah. I was about to say, like, if it was a little bit nicer, it might look like that thing that the guy rides in A Never-Ending Story.
Oh, Falcor.
Falcor, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's talking to the black guy, and they're talking about, oh, he's saying if I was a vampire, I'd bite you. Oh, wow. So the black guy's gay and he's hitting on 80s guy.
Is that Clint Eastwood in the background in that frame, or is it looks like Dirty Harry?
I didn't see that.
There's Catherine O'Hara. See another Home Alone character.
So this is the director's wife and the Sarah French, the other blonde actress, in the director's office. And they have the weirdest assortment of chairs in this place. It's like she is standing next to a chair that belongs in the dining room of like the Archduke of Ferdinand's dining at his dining table.
So the killer is just like standing behind our two guys that are on the couch. I don't think they know that yet.
They have no clue.
He's looking right at her.
These people are like wildly oblivious. Like he could literally walk right in front of him, like, "Hey, I'm gonna like kill you right now." Like, are you ready for it? No,
Or was
cool.
there a statue there before? Maybe that's why they think there's no way that dude on the right was not able to see the killer. No way.
Yeah.
Just staring right at it.
Okay, so these guys are apparently they're both gay and they're talking about how they came out. And like I don't know. I do not like I support this, but I do not connect with this conversation. So okay, so apparently the black guy is like he's a believer as well because he said when it's my turn to ascend to the upper room.
Wait, so where did the connection to stoners come in? I might have missed that.
Yeah, I didn't catch that part either.
Oh,
But I think he said like when it's my turn to ascend to the upper room, I'm gonna go high. Like he's gonna go out smoking weed. And now they're making out. Okay, now we're back with the director's wife and the other blonde actress. And so she asks the director's wife asks her if she has anybody in her life, and she says, no, like most men can't handle the fact that she's an actress. Which, like, okay, I kind of get it, but I think the only thing that would be like a turnoff is if it's like an OnlyFans situation. That would be a little weird. If you're doing that, that would seem strange, but
I feel like this conversation is going to just lead to these two ladies redoing their LinkedIn pages by the
yeah.
end.
This does. It feels very like let's have an interview right now. Like so what are your career aspirations?
I would love to get drunk and redo my resume with you tonight.
Can you help me fix my LinkedIn? So, oh wow. So we're
Okay.
jumped right into that one.
He's getting domed up.
So the 80s guy is sucking off the black guy on the couch, and the killer is staring at them.
So our killer is a voyeur, apparently.
This killer does a lot of staring. And so they finish and the killer's gone.
You know, I've always found it amazing how hilarious it is that in Hollywood and maybe even in indie films, like when you come up from a good oral session, like your fucking lips aren't dry like this. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, like it's not the clean mouth.
it's not. And I see so many films where it's like they're willing to do full frontal, but when someone comes up from giving oral, it looks like they just got out of the shower and just like dried up, and it's like,
And
I want them to be real about it. Like just show him with fucking you know, fluids all over his face and have him, you know, wipe his face off.
Yeah, to have like
That's real.
if you have the cum on your face, but I mean, like it, it's not for me. Like, but like I it would add to a realness, yes. But at least he did like the obligatory like wipe, like the face wipe on his way
It's
up.
like
But
he
you see his face before he wipes, so it kind of like takes away from it a little bit.
these are the kings of air oral. It's like you just maybe
Like,
that's what kids are doing these days. Air oral. I don't know.
just look like you're bobbing for apples.
Yeah.
So now the same guy that was just giving oral is now in one of
One of
the
the sets.
one of the sets, and like, oh, he puts on the red jacket, the mistress jacket. That looks like a Thriller jacket. He even did the kind of like the Thriller dance there. And so the killer's right behind him.
Well, you thought right.
Yeah, okay. See, and everybody's doing this. It's like they want to have these full conversations with somebody who's not talking. It feels so awkward. And he gets his
Oh,
oh shit. He gets his throat full on slashed with what is that, like a putty knife?
his heart pressure is way too high.
I, yeah, like okay, arterial spray does shoot, but it's not like a fire hose of all 7 liters of your body at once. But since we haven't gotten any like really good gore yet, like I'll take it. That's pretty
Yeah,
good. That was a nice feature kill.
yeah. Do you regret all your decisions in life at that moment that a killer just cleavers your neck wide open? Or do you just be like, I regret nothing?
I At that point, I feel like regret does you no good. You should just roll with it.
What if it distracts you from the blood spray and like you're in the last 7 seconds of your life?
Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever gets you through it, because I mean, once it's done, it's not like you're gonna be like, I should have handled those last 7 seconds better.
I should have made my LinkedIn page public.
So now the black guy comes in the murder room where the blood is still fresh all over those walls,
Oh,
and
see now
decides
here, yeah.
he's gonna toke.
Okay, being a stoner at different periods of my life, I can at least say this is true to life here. A stoner would totally walk into a murder room and just like toke up, you know, be like,
Yeah,
whatever, you know.
like, oh, somebody
Me,
died, cool.
yeah, the killer could come out with like the body, and the stoner would just like have like a chill conversation with them, be like, what you doing, man?
But apparently some kind of like smoke or gas or whatever is coming through the vent. So he puts down his blunt.
It's gonna fall right onto that plastic and light that place up.
So he's going into, is that fog?
It's someone's flatulence.
Uh, That's a smoky ass fart. That's what that is. So he said, share the cheese.
Uh-oh.
All right.
That's definitely a glory hole you don't want to put your mouth on.
Yeah. So now he's a little more alert. He's gonna walk around and notice, oh shit, that's blood on the walls. Uh, Ew. Would you put your face
I think you just smelled it. Yeah.
into like inches from somebody else's
Yeah.
what?
Oh, now you're tasting it.
Ew. Oh God. Ew. That's disgusting.
See, but the stoner in him is like, nah, nah, no.
That's not blood. Like, okay, if it was blood, you could taste that because that would have like a heavy iron taste. And like it would taste different than prop blood, which is like sugar.
Wait, is he gonna jerk off with the blood?
Is he is giving himself a hand party.
Okay. That's
Oh,
that's a very quick way to get hepatitis, but all right.
oh wow, he's using the blood as lube for his dick. And here comes the killer to chop his dick off.
Ooh.
Oh geez.
Oh, that's where you want to be like way higher than you
And
should be.
he's, oh my God. I wasn't ready for that. So he holds his dick in his hand.
That's just, yeah, it was just severed.
The severed dick is in his hand, and he throws it at the killer's head.
You know, why not at that point?
I mean, you go out with your fucking boots
You
on, man.
you go for it.
So the killer does like a ceremonial wipe because I mean all the blood is on the wig, right? And so now he's just staring at this guy like bleeding
There
from
you
his
go.
dick. So he's gonna pick up a blunt
Smoke the rest of that. Hurry, do it.
and then dies.
Oof, man.
That was a good one.
A little on the nose, though.
It was very much on the nose, but I feel like this movie is the definition of on the nose. That if what they're aiming at, that's it. So now the director's wife sees the director in a wig.
Of the killer.
Yeah, like the blonde mistress wig. And so she asks about the wig. Yeah. How is that not your first question?
He's like, I was just in here deciding if I wanted to be Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad or if I wanted to be Elektra.
I, I can make bad movies too. So so he said like he basically plays it off and like throws the wig down on the floor. And we get this long shot of the wig. So now we're down to we have beard guy. I never caught his name.
Ben Stiller
And
when he was young.
the young Ben Stiller
Yeah.
uh the this is the redhead, brown or brunette.
With the confident
Yes.
jawline.
She has a strong jaw. It's like I always mess his name up. What's the guy from Family Guy, the creepy guy?
Oh, Quagmire?
Quagmire. Glenn, right?
Yeah.
Glenn Quagmire, yeah. And that sounds really mean. Like she doesn't actually look like Quagmire.
But she
Uh
had the equivalent of if Nick's forehead were a chin, it would be hers. I
yeah.
guess you're the only one that gets that reference.
Yeah. It's a prominent chin. And it's a noticeable feature. So, you know how we just talked about during the break that we never got that moment where everybody's like, where did everybody go? We finally get it when the director's talking to his wife and like she's worried, where did everybody go? Because it's just her and him.
Yeah. Everyone did an Irish goodbye like all at once.
They're like, this party fucking sucks. Peace the fuck out. I'm gonna sit here and kumbaya for 3 hours about a movie I just finished. So young Ben Stiller is walking on a set. Yeah. Or no, in a hallway, and there's like a prop. It's like a baby head in a cage.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the mistress standing in the hallway.
That baby could be you if you jumped through the wrong wormhole.
So, like, would you rather be murdered by the mistress or be a living baby head for the rest of your life?
Oof. And if I were a living baby head in that particular hallway, I would have to go with being slaughtered by the mistress.
That's fair.
Yeah, I can't do neon, flashy, stroby 80s hue lights for the rest of forever.
Yeah. Like, this is, can we pick a new movie to do? I'm tired of these fucking lights. So now Lady Quagmire is in the hallway as well, and it was
There's
very
so many other names we could have given her, like big hoopy earring girl face.
Well, it is berated B-rated movies. I mean,
Yeah.
we got to live up to the title. Like they're having a conversation in this hallway. Oh, about Alcoholics Anonymous. Oh, the guy, he went to AA. Okay.
I don't know, something about saying he had issues as a teenager, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Only like 3% of teenagers have issues. Come on.
Oh, she was at they're getting to how he got into this movie. It's because he met Mason when he was in AA. So now they're making that meta joke, like this is the part in the script where I die. Like, okay, yeah, like you guys are
Mhm.
both gonna fucking die right now. So
He could be the mistress, though.
he could. So, oh, and she's trying to be coy, and she's like, "Let's FUCK all over this set. Get your
She,
DONG hard.
he just sold her to prepare her twat.
Prepare your twat." Like,
That's romantic right there.
did
I'm gonna
you
use that one.
like? Okay,
Prepare
like,
your twat, darling.
like, do you feel like in any situation is that sexy talk? Like, does that work?
I mean, you could play with all the names. I don't know, like prepare your vagina. Like twat has that, a bit more punchy.
Yeah. So now Mason is using like a a multi-legged stand. I don't know what this is called. This is all
He
movie set stuff. And he's like swinging around on it like a kid.
was he telling someone to fuck this? I couldn't tell in the context of the subtitles.
So wow. So we're getting like full on sexy time from like dude ass perspective.
Yeah.
So she actually spells out fuck. She's like FUCK me.
FUCK me. Yeah.
And she's like she wants it harder, but he's like, I can't. She's like, just try. Like, fucking pretend, dude. SEX is so fun.
She is strange.
They
Is
are
she the
really
killer?
I have no clue. Like they are going in hard on the spelling during sex here. So somebody's
Apparently
coming up with a
not.
nail gun.
He nailed her through the back of her head while he was coming.
Does that count as necrophilia?
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's just, man.
So he's still in like the post-sex thing and just notices the fact that she's bleeding. And here's the mistress to shoot a nail at him.
Jesus, how big are these nails?
I know. Like shoots him in the back.
He's groaning, apparently.
And now he's like crawling away. And like the mistress is stalking him down and grabs
Sledgehammer.
the sledgehammer he was using or that she was using, right?
Watermelon.
Oh yeah. And smashes the shit out of his head. That was a good head. That wasn't a Gallagher head. Lego, get down here now. Get over here. Now, our final blonde actress is wondering where everybody is. This seems to be the common this is the thing now we're doing. Everybody's wondering where everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. And so the director's wife goes into the office and sees a wig on someone and a knife in the chest, right? Yeah. And now she's gonna peel up the mask.
That's
Oh.
Macaulay Culkin from Home
Oh.
Alone.
Was that the black guy?
No, I don't think so.
No, okay. Like
Uh,
I don't know. It was too dark, so I couldn't tell. So now here comes Sarah French's character, she's our final girl. Well, one of them. So she thinks this is all a joke, and she's like making funny quips about all these dead bodies. And now she's starting to realize they're dead and sees the mistress. So, oh, she's trying to close the door. I was like, what is she doing? Because all you see is her feet, right? So she's getting choked by the mistress, and grabs onto this pole for leverage. Oh, the door. Still the door. Okay. And gets the mistress's hand stuck in the door.
This just brings me back to all the times that like an alien was trapped on his ship because it was chasing people through and they like shut a door on it right at the last second. It's trying to, but this is way more lo-fi than that. Like it's just a door you slide open.
Yeah, that's like one of those. It's like a big fancy barn door, basically.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
she takes a bottle and hits him in the head, or hits whoever in the head, the killer. And now she's trying to close the door again. We're getting lots of sliding door action.
Ooh.
All
Lights
right.
out.
So as she's trying to close the door again, she gets knocked out and tied to a chair. And so is the director's wife. So okay, so I'm so glad we figured this out this late in the movie that somebody's killing people.
I think she could be the killer.
Yeah, she could. She could be a part of this, and she's just there to kind of like mess with her, I guess. So, well, so do you think it's just the director? Because we haven't seen him hardly ever. Oh, so she's not tied up at all, the director's wife.
Yeah, it's her.
And then she gives that evil look. Oh, geez, they're doing it like a plot twist. So, oh, so now we're gonna get to the explanation. It's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Because we always have to have it explained, right?
Yeah. This is how I hope God will treat me when I have to answer for all my sins someday. Well, let me just explain to you, God, one step at a time, why I fucked up so many things.
Yeah.
And then like a millennia later, he's just like going crazy because he's bored to death of me. He's like, I'm done with this guy.
Yeah. So now the director's wife was like, I was in 200 movies, and the other lady says, and only 3 of them were good. It's like so so catty.
Wow. See you next time was used.
Yeah. So she's there. She says we should be working together, supporting each other. But that doesn't happen.
She's a cheeky cunt. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
So she's trying to uh like get the director's wife to empathize with her.
I think
So
she's trying to get her to go lesbian with her too.
we should work together and kiss each other and love each other.
Like they were making some glances at one another. I was like, I'm not convinced this isn't going to go that way.
But the way that the director's wife keeps looking at her, it's like it's supposed to be sinister, but they look like sexy eyes.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to get inside that dress. Mm.
I'm not sure if you're asking me where the knife is or if you want spicy time.
Yeah. So here's the mistress coming out, and then the director's wife dances with the mistress in front of uh the other blonde actress.
Yeah, this is really cringy. Like if I were tied up and someone were about to kill me, I'd be like, okay, this really is worse. Can you just kill me, please?
Can you just get this over with? I mean, I'm not even interested in who's behind the mistress anymore. I just want to be done.
Yeah, like you guys aren't dancing that well either. It's kind of awkward.
Can I go home now?
this is this is starting to feel like Saturday school.
So then she calls the mistress, whoever it is, a pussy, and he walks over with whoever it is walks over with a knife, and the director is dead. So he had some type of rod jammed down his throat,
Yeah.
and now the mistress stabs the blonde actress in the back. Damn, like straight in the middle. Good luck trying to walk. So whoever is in the suit now, this mistress costume, they look bigger than whoever was there before. Like they have like linebacker shoulders. What?
Ah,
Who is this again?
it's the prosthetic nose man.
Oh, this is prosthetic nose man. Okay, yes. Okay. So he's doing this because he wants to be famous for surviving a murder at a rap party.
Are they like in Narnia with the, like Narnia's like become modern?
Yeah, I mean it feels like that.
There's the lamp.
Oh, this is the first time actor guy that was being like in the Tommy Bahama shirt that was being douchey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Got it now.
Has this person forgot about the knife in her back?
How is she still talking? Because it
How
it went midline. It looked like it went through her spine.
it's like, in addition to stabbing you in the back, I will also provide some anesthesia.
Yeah, like you would be like incapacitated and nearly dead at this point.
You know, there's such a
So,
thing as GoPros. You don't have to put a USB web camera through your shirt and hang it over.
yeah.
That's really
So so basically, okay, so now they're doing their whole back and forth and uh
she scissored him.
she literally put scissors in his eyes and now he's dead or in his eye.
She gonna like bond with this person now? She's definitely dead, right? She's got a knife in her spine.
How is she? Yeah, I'm amazed she's still talking. Like practically has a knife in her spine because that thing went midline. Like it's not like there's one part of your back where your spine like disappears and then comes back later. It's
The black hole between vertebrae.
so now we're getting this really long monologue. So now apparently the director's wife is going to be the star, and that's what this was all about.
So you have a baby boomer blonde having it out with a millennial blonde. Who do you think's
Yeah.
gonna win?
I feel like the millennial blonde might still get her.
The millennial blonde might make her cry with all her sad stories of how her entitled life has led to so much strife.
Wow, they throw in a Rutger Hauer reference. Like I haven't heard about Rutger Hauer in years.
I think he just like stabbed her with like the constipation knife. It just when you get stabbed with it, you just become constipated.
Pretty much. Lego, get off the stairs.
Yeah, because she just looks like she's trying to drop a deuce right now,
Yeah.
but nothing more.
She's just just like hold.
See,
Oh, so she's gonna cut her hand superficially to say she was part of this night of kills. So that's the thing is like I don't know if the police are gonna buy that if you have this tiny little cut on your hand that you're like, oh, I tried
yeah.
to fight him off and he glanced me with a knife.
So over here, this guy's neck was split wide open like a melon. Over here, this lady was stabbed in the back through the spine, and you got cut on the palm.
Like, how will you live with this?
Got it.
It's like I feel like maybe she might be a part of this. I don't know why I feel that way.
She
Yeah.
probably frequents grief counseling meetings, sits in with the groups, and hears all these like actual horrible stories, and then follows it with, there was this one time I tripped and fell on a pair of scissors and I cut my hands.
Oh, now she's gonna cut the side of her wrist. This is getting super like uncomfortable. Like if I was sitting there, it's like, please just fucking stab me, so I don't have to watch you groan as you give yourself
Yeah.
superficial cuts.
Like this would be like trying to force Blade, like the Wesley Snipes Blade, to go in and like watch like a Broadway musical.
Be like, I'm the daywalker. I don't watch this shit. So, okay. Now we're getting more monologue.
This
So
girl still hasn't dropped a log yet.
like, yeah, she's just staring.
She's glaring with like an attitude.
Yeah.
Do you have an attitude though when you're like on death's doorstep like her?
I feel like you're allowed to have an attitude. Now she's gonna cut herself again on the other wrist. So now she has just a bunch of tiny cuts. Okay, so now we're hearing about the director. Apparently they were in love, so they got married.
Couldn't all of this have just been sent in an email, lady?
Uh, y- you took the words right out of my mouth. This could have been an email.
This you called a meeting 8 o'clock on a Monday to tell me this.
Like, we all know we need to fill out TPS forms. You could just send that in an email, and if you have more instructions, put it in the email.
In fact, we use Teams, we use Slack, right? We do all these things.
This could have been a Slack message,
Yeah.
and now she cuts the middle of her chest.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Let go.
Well, yeah, that would have been a lot easier.
But the way she's doing these cuts too, it's going to be like super obvious if they look at it, they're careful. Everybody else is getting these massive wounds and these just like, it looks like a swing, and it's like, like coming out of nowhere, but like hers, it's like calculated.
Yeah, you kind of want to have like the Mike Myers effect, not Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. Like, oh, he poked me a little bit when he was cutting my hair. It was kind of weird. I didn't want to say anything. So now she cuts a cross on her chest.
Oh, girl with knife and back might finally be dying.
Yeah, she looks like she's starting to go out, and goes all the way out. And then the director's wife is still talking, admiring her cuts.
Is it though, lady? You're like 80.
Like, okay, lady, let's move it along.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and go into a home. Let's do that. Yes. You had your chance.
So, she's playing possum. Oh no, is she dead? Because so the director's wife walks out into the street where it's raining and is celebrating.
Surprise, it's acid.
That would be great. How much you want to bet she's right behind? Yeah, I was about to say she's right behind her.
Is it a fake knife?
Was that a bleeding knife? So she like works her hands out of the restraints with a butcher knife, or with the butcher knife that was in her back. And then as she raised it, she got shot. Who else is still alive? Oh, the cop, the movie security, Dave Sheridan.
Oh yes,
eating a sandwich in the rain. I don't know if I could eat a wet, rainy sandwich.
This whole thing is gonna watch. It's gonna be a Krispy Kreme commercial.
This massacre brought to you by Krispy Kreme.
What do you do when you've been murdering bitches all night? You want a donut that's hot, creamy, and crispy?
So now the director's wife is crying crocodile tears.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe her.
And someone is walking up behind her. Is that a cop? Yeah, that's a cop. And she's just sitting there like rocking and crying.
It's a good shot though.
It is. This movie, it's a beautiful looking movie. It's very well lit.
I gotta give it to him. I haven't spotted too many continuity errors either.
Nope. No, I mean it's a very good direction and sense of story. And oh, wow. So she literally stops crying and like gives that like I got away with it look and says that's a wrap. And that's our movie.
That's a wrap.
All right. Well, we'll be back with final thoughts on That's a Wrap. All right, we're back with final thoughts on That's a Wrap. Okay. It's a very beautiful looking movie. It's like, it's well shot. Like I never had like I couldn't like find any part that I didn't like looking at it. It was very nice looking. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In my limited exposure to indie films, this was an indie film, right?
Yeah, this is indie.
Yeah. It didn't have the same roughness that I guess that I'm used to seeing. It felt a little bit more polished
It did.
in terms of videography. I feel like honestly, makeup, special effects weren't bad at all.
Oh no.
Nothing
Yeah.
nothing felt the only scene that felt a bit much in terms of the gore was the neck spray, like the fire hydrant spray of blood that went on for like 15
Oh
seconds.
my God. It like painted 2 walls
Yeah.
from top to bottom. It was impressive. That's the
uh,
thing with that. I kind of like paint, or I kind of write that off as maybe like a hyper realism.
mhm.
Like I can live with that because it looked really cool.
Yeah, it made me really not want to die that way.
Yeah.
Ah, you're just watching
Like,
like all your blood, just like shoot, that's off. That sounds like such a nightmare.
yeah.
Um, I felt that um I wouldn't mind seeing this movie have a sequel. I feel like it'd be fun to kind of play around with, because in Scream, every time, well, this, you see uh Ghostface, was that the name?
Yeah. Ghostface. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember the first time I saw Ghostface get killed, you kind of feel like there's closure. But with each movie, they kind of like open up a new door and you're like, oh, I didn't know that,
Yeah.
and they keep the story going. And I could see this becoming a thing as well.
Yeah. I mean, like, because I do feel like the role of the mistress is something you could continue to extend to, well, have it be her or extend it to different people or whatever. Um, okay, I don't know. For me, like the whole like setting a scene and doing a kill thing, it was cool, but I feel like there were a few times where it was like somebody walks into a hallway and then the mistress is at the end of the hallway and they're gonna have a one-way conversation with somebody that's not talking. And
Hmm.
like we see it a lot, and it just made some of the characters feel like almost exactly like other characters.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
sisters. And for me, like they had good character moments before the kill, and I would have liked to see more of the character personality in the way they're killed. I
Yeah.
think it
I
would
see what
have
you're saying.
like individualized things a little better as opposed to like I do love the cinematic kill. I just wish it had a more of a personal feel for the character.
Hmm.
That would have been more interesting for me.
Yeah. Some good words there. Um, yeah, it'd be fun to see like how many copycats they could this particular one would inspire.
Oh yeah. And
So
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so you don't necessarily need to rely on like OG.
Yeah. And the other thing I thought was interesting is I kind of had an ending that I thought they were going for in my head. And you get to that part of the ending and then there's like layers to it. It's like every character we've seen in the movie, they have a role, they have a purpose, and they all kind of circle back and have some type of implication to how the ending of the movie works.
Hmm.
And like having, you know, like she thinks she killed um the blonde girl. Then the blonde girl gets out and the blonde girl's about to kill her. But then the blonde girl gets shot by the security officer who thinks that she is like the one responsible for the murders. And like that whole layering there was really cool.
Yeah, it became a fucked up game of Clue, right?
Yeah. It was it was pretty twisted. Um I mean I the thing is it's like, you know, it had solid gore moments, it had good character moments. I mean, I know everybody's trying to play like, pretentious Hollywood. Like that's the aim here is kind
Hmm.
of like the meta on the meta, like the movie in the movie kind of thing, and like it's pretentious Hollywood. So like I feel like they nailed the character development on that part. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, man, good pick. Not bad.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, Yeah, I mean, well, thank you for being on this episode since Brian was on vacation this week.
Woo,
So
that's been cheering.
it's always awesome to have you on.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
All right, man. Well, yeah, well, thank you for being here. And we will Brian and I, well, and Garrett at some point. Oh, well, if you listen to the Everything Gets Berated episode, we will all talk to you next time.
See ya.
Later.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. This podcast is available on all major podcast networks and YouTube. If you like what you're hearing, please follow, like, and subscribe to us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.